निमित्तं च अहम् इदं पूजां करिष्ये। ओम गणानान्त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ओम महागणपतये नमः। ओम सुमुखाय नमः। ओम एकदन्ताय नमः। ओम कपिलाय नमः। ओम गजकर्णकाय नमः। ओम लंबोदराय नमः। ओम विकटाय नमः। ओम विघ्नराजाय नमः। ओम विनायकाय नमः। ओम धूमकेतवे नमः। ओम गणाध्यक्षाय नमः। ओम फालचंद्राय नमः। ओम गजाननाय नमः। ओम भक्ततुंडाय नमः। ओम शूर्पकर्णाय नमः। ओम हेरंभाय नमः। ओम स्कंदपूर्वजाय नमः। ओम श्री सिद्धिविनायक स्वामिने नमः। ओम स्फटिकरजतवर्णमौक्तिकीमक्षमालाम् अमृतकलशविद्यां ज्ञानमुद्रां कराग्रे तततमुरककक्षं चन्द्रचूडं त्रिनेत्रं विद्युतविविधभूषं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे। ओम नमो भगवते दक्षिणामूर्तये मह्यं मेधां प्रज्ञां प्रयच्छ स्वाहा। ओम नमो भगवते दक्षिणामूर्तये मह्यं मेधां प्रज्ञां प्रयच्छ स्वाहा। ओम नमो भगवते दक्षिणामूर्तये मह्यं मेधां प्रयच्छ स्वाहा। So let's do this. I think we have enough time. So maybe we'll run out of time, but let's pronounce this twice so that we are absolutely pakka. Not too many people are here, but we'll see. Or maybe we'll do that next time when there are more people. So today we'll just do only once. The 108 names, if you have it. Does everybody have copies of that? You don't have a copy? I don't know. You should get a copy of that. I should make some copies. So you can just follow after me. Om Omkara Simha Sarvendraya Namaha. Om Omkara Simha Sarvendraya Namaha. Om Omkarodhyana Kokilaya Namaha. Omkaradyon. Om Omkara Nida Shukaraje Namaha. Om Omkararanya Kunjaraya Namaha. Oh, many of you are not pronouncing. Make sure that you do, please. Om Nagaraja Sutajanaye Namaha. Om Nagaraja Nagaraja Jinalayaya Namaha. Yeah, sorry. Om Nagaraja Nijalayaya Namaha. Nagaraja Nijalayaya Namaha. Om Navamanikyamadhyaya Namaha. Om Navachandrashikhamanaye Namaha. Om Nandita Shesha Maunindraya Namaha. Om Nandishadimadeshikaya Namaha. Nandishadimadeshikaya Namaha. Om Mohanala-sudhasaraya Namaha. Mohanala-sudhasaraya Namaha. Om Moha-ambujasudhakaraya Namaha. Moha-ambujasudhakaraya Namaha. Om Mohandhakarataranaye Namaha. Mohandhakarataranaye Namaha. Om Mohotpalanabhomanaye Namaha. Mohotpalanabhomanaye Namaha. Om Bhakta-jnana-abdhishitaanshave Namaha. Bhakta-jnana-abdhishitaanshave Namaha. ॐ भक्ताज्ञानतृणालयाय नमः। भक्ताज्ञानतृणालयाय नमः। ॐ भक्ताम्बोजसहस्रांशवे नमः। भक्ताम्बोजसहस्रांशवे नमः। ॐ भक्तकेकि घनाघनाय नमः। भक्तकेकि घनाघनाय नमः। ॐ भक्तकैरवराकेन्दवे नमः। भक्तकैरवराकेन्दवे नमः। ॐ भक्तकोकदिवाकराय नमः। भक्तकोकदिवाकराय नमः। ॐ गजाननादिसम्पूज्याय नमः। गजाननादिसम्पूज्याय नमः। ॐ गजचर्मोज्ज्वलाकृतये नमः। गजचर्मोज्ज्वलाकृतये नमः। ॐ गङ्गाधवलदिव्याङ्गाय नमः। गङ्गाधवलदिव्याङ्गाय नमः। ॐ गङ्गापङ्किलसज्जटाय नमः। गङ्गापङ्किलसज्जटाय नमः। ॐ गगनाम्बरसंवीताय नमः। गगनाम्बरसंवीताय नमः। ॐ गगनामुक्तमूर्धजाय नमः। गगनामुक्तमूर्धजाय नमः। ॐ वदनाब्जजिताब्जश्रिये नमः। वदनाब्जजिताब्जश्रिये नमः। ॐ वदनेन्दुस्फुरुद्दिशाय नमः। वदनेन्दुस्फुरुद्दिशाय नमः। ॐ वरदानैकनिपुणाय नमः। ॐ वरदानैकनिपुणाय नमः। ॐ वरवीणोज्ज्वलत्कराय नमः। वरवीणोज्ज्वलत्कराय नमः। ॐ वनवाससमुल्लासाय नमः। वनवाससमुल्लासाय नमः। ॐ वनवीरैकलोलुपाय नमः। ॐ तेजःभुञ्जघनाकाराय नमः। तेजःभुञ्जघनाकाराय नमः। ॐ तेजसामपि भासकाय नमः। तेजसामपि भासकाय नमः। ॐ विनेयानां तेजःप्रदाय नमः। विनेयानां तेजःप्रदाय नमः। ॐ तेजोमयनिजाश्रमाय नमः। तेजोमयनिजाश्रमाय नमः। ॐ दमितानङ्गसङ्ग्रामाय नमः। दमितानङ्गसङ्ग्रामाय नमः। ॐ दर्हासचिताङ्गनाय नमः। दर्हासचिताङ्गनाय नमः। ॐ दयारससुधासिन्धवे नमः। दयारससुधासिन्धवे नमः। ॐ दरिद्रधनसेवदये नमः। धनसेवदये नमः। ॐ क्षीरेन्दुस्फटिकाकाराय नमः। क्षीरेन्दुस्फटिकाकाराय नमः। ॐ क्षीरेन्दुमुकुटोज्ज्वलाय नमः। क्षीरेन्दुमुकुटोज्ज्वलाय नमः। ॐ क्षीरोपहाररसिकाय नमः। क्षीरोपहाररसिकाय नमः। ॐ क्षिप्रैश्वर्यफलप्रदाय नमः। क्षिप्रैश्वर्यफलप्रदाय नमः। ॐ नानाभरणमुग्धाङ्गाय नमः। नानाभरणमुग्धाङ्गाय नमः। ॐ नारीसम्मोहनाकृतये नमः। नारीसम्मोहनाकृतये नमः। ॐ नादब्रह्मरसास्वादिने नमः। नादब्रह्मरसास्वादिने ॐ नागभूषणभूषिताय नमः। नागभूषणभूषिताय ॐ मूर्तिनिन्दितकन्दर्पाय नमः। मूर्तिनिन्दितकन्दर्पाय नमः। ॐ मूर्तामूर्तजगद्वपुषे नमः। मूर्तामूर्तजगद्वपुषे नमः। ॐ मूलाज्ञानतमो भानवे नमः। मूलाज्ञानतमो भानवे नमः। ॐ मूर्तिमत्कल्पपादपाय नमः। मूर्तिमत्कल्पपादपाय नमः। ॐ तरुणादित्यसङ्काशाय नमः। तरुणादित्यसङ्काशाय नमः। ॐ तन्त्रीवादनतत्पराय नमः। तन्त्रीवादनतत्पराय नमः। ॐ तरुमूलैकनिलयाय नमः। तरुमूलैकनिलयाय नमः। ॐ तप्तजाम्बूनदप्रभाय नमः। तप्तजाम्बूनदप्रभाय नमः। ॐ तत्त्वपुस्तोलसत्पाणये नमः। तत्त्वपुस्तोलसत्पाणये नमः। ॐ तपनोडुपलोचनाय नमः। तपनोडुपलोचनाय नमः। ॐ यमसंनुतसत्कीर्तये नमः। ॐ यमसन्नुतसत्कीर्तये नमः। ॐ यमसंयमसंयुताय नमः। यमसंयमसंयुताय नमः। ॐ यतिरूपधराय मौनिने नमः। ॐ यतिरूपधराय मौनिने नमः। ॐ यतीन्द्रोपास्य विग्रहाय नमः। ॐ यतीन्द्रोपास्य विग्रहाय नमः। ॐ मन्दारहाररुचिराय नमः। मन्दारहाररुचिराय नमः। ॐ मदनायुतसुन्दराय नमः। मदनायुतसुन्दराय नमः। ॐ मन्दस्मितलसत्वक्त्राय नमः। ॐ मन्दस्मितलसत्वक्त्राय नमः। ॐ मधुराधरपल्लवाय नमः। मधुराधरपल्लवाय नमः। ॐ मञ्जीरमञ्जुपादाब्जाय नमः। मञ्जीरमञ्जुपादाब्जाय नमः। ॐ मणिपट्टोलसत्कटये नमः। ॐ मणिपट्टोलसत्कटये नमः। ॐ हस्ताङ्कुरितचिन्मुद्राय नमः। ॐ हस्ताङ्कुरितचिन्मुद्राय नमः। ॐ हठयोगपरोत्तमाय नमः। हठयोगपरोत्तमाय नमः। ॐ हंसजप्याक्षमालाढ्याय नमः। ॐ हंसजप्याक्षमालाढ्याय नमः। ॐ हंसे द्वाराध्यपादुकाय नमः। हंसे द्वाराध्यपादुकाय नमः। ॐ मेरुशृङ्गतटोल्लासाय नमः। मेरुशृङ्गतटोल्लासाय नमः। ॐ मेघश्याममनोहराय नमः। मेघश्याममनोहराय नमः। ॐ मेधाङ्कुरालवालाग्र्याय नमः। मेधाङ्कुरालवालाग्र्याय नमः। ॐ मेधापक्वफलद्रुमाय नमः। मेधापक्वफलद्रुमाय नमः। ॐ धार्मिकान्तर्गुहावासाय नमः। धार्मिकान्तर्गुहावासाय नमः। ॐ धर्ममार्गप्रवर्तकाय नमः। धर्ममार्गप्रवर्तकाय नमः। ॐ धामत्रयनिजारामाय नमः। धामत्रयनिजारामाय नमः। ॐ धर्मोत्तममनोरथाय नमः। धर्मोत्तममनोरथाय नमः। ॐ प्रबोधोद्गारदीपश्रिये नमः। ॐ प्रबोधोद्गारदीपश्रिये नमः। ॐ प्रकाशितजगत्र्याय नमः। जगत्र्याय नमः। ॐ प्रज्ञाचन्द्रशिलाचन्द्राय नमः। प्रज्ञाचन्द्रशिलाचन्द्राय नमः। ॐ प्रज्ञामणिवराकराय नमः। ॐ प्रज्ञामणिवराकराय नमः। ॐ ज्ञानान्तरभासात्मने नमः। ॐ ज्ञानान्तरभासात्मने नमः। ॐ ज्ञातज्ञादिविदूरगाय नमः। ज्ञातज्ञादिविदूरगाय नमः। ॐ ज्ञानज्ञाद्वैतदिव्यांगाय नमः। ज्ञानज्ञाद्वैतदिव्यांगाय नमः। ॐ ज्ञातृज्ञातिकुलागताय नमः। ॐ ज्ञातृज्ञातिकुलागताय नमः। ॐ प्रपन्नपारिजाताग्र्याय नमः। ॐ प्रपन्नपारिजाताग्र्याय नमः। ॐ प्रणतार्थ्यप्तिवाडवाय नमः। प्रणताभ्यप्तिवाडवाय नमः। ॐ भूतानां प्रमाणभूताय नमः। भूतानां प्रमाणभूताय नमः। ॐ प्रपञ्चहितकारकाय नमः। प्रपञ्चहितकारकाय नमः। ॐ यत्तत्त्वमसि संवेद्याय नमः। यत्तत्त्वमसि संवेद्याय नमः। ॐ यक्षगेयात्मवैभवाय नमः। ॐ यक्षगेयात्मवैभवाय नमः। ॐ यज्ञादिदेवतामूर्तये नमः। ॐ यज्ञादिदेवतामूर्तये नमः। ॐ यजमानवपुर्धराय नमः। यजमानवपुर्धराय नमः। ॐ छत्राधिपतिविश्वेश्वाय नमः। Sorry, yeah, I made that mistake last time also. Chhatrādhipati Vishveshāya Namaha. Om Chhatrādhipati Vishveshāya Namaha. Om Chhatrasamarasevitaya Namaha. Chandrasamarasevitaya Namaha. Om Chandashastrādinipunāya Namaha. Chandashastrādinipunāya Namaha. Om Chalajatyadiduragaya Namaha. Chalajatyadiduragaya Namaha. Om Swabhavikasukhaikatmane Namaha. Swabhavikasukhaikatmane Namaha. Om Svanubhutirasodadaye Namaha. Om Svanubhutirasodadaye Namaha. Om Swarajya Sampadhyakshaya Namaha. Om Swarajya Sampadhyakshaya Namaha. Om Swatma Rama Mahamataye Namaha. Swatma Rama Mahamataye Namaha. Om Hataka Bhajata Jutaya Namaha. Hataka Bhajata Jutaya Namaha. Om Hasodastari Mandalaya Namaha. Hasodastari Mandalaya Namaha. Om Hala Halojvalaggalaya Namaha. Hala Halojvalaggalaya Namaha. Om Hardagranthi Vimochakaya Namaha. Hardagranthi Vimochakaya Namaha. Om Shri Medha Dakshinamurti Swamine Namaha. Om Shri Medha Dakshinamurti Swamine Namaha. Om Shri Dayananda Satgurave Namaha. Om Shri Dayananda Satgurave Namaha. Om Shri Maheshananda Satgurave Namaha. Om Shri Maheshananda Satgurave Namaha. Okay. I suppose the key is still out there, so people won't have any difficulty. Is it there?
Yes.
Okay, good. So what we could do, next 5 minutes, let's do all of the Upanishads. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad-padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavatyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Gukarastvandhakaro Vai Rukarastvanivartakaha Andhakaranidodhitvad Gururitya Vidhiyate Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tedasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So let's chant all the 12 verses of the Mandukya Upanishad until 8:30, and hopefully we'll start the class. So number 1, Om Ityetad Akshara Idagum Sarvam. Om Ityetad Akshara Idagum Sarvam. Om Ityetad Akshara Idagum Sarvam. Tasyopavyakyanam Bhutam bhavat bhavishyaditi. Bhutam bhavat bhavishyaditi. Sarvam Omkara eva. Sarvam Omkara eva. Yacchanyatrikalatitam. Yacchanyatrikalatitam. Tadapyomkara eva. Tadapyankara eva. Sarvagum hyetad brahma. Sarvagum hyetad brahma. Ayamatma brahma. Ayamatma brahma. Soyamatma chatushpat. Soyamatma chatushpat. Jagritasthano bahishpragyaha. Jagritasthano bahishpragyaha. Saptanga eko vimshati mukhaha. Saptanga eko na vimshati mukhaha. Sthula bhuk vaishvanaraha. Sthula bhuk vaishvanaraha. Prathamah padaha. Swapna prasthano antaf pragyaha. Swapna sthano antaf pragyaha. Saptanga ekona vimshati mukhaha. Saptanga ekona vimshati mukhaha. Prabhivikta bhuk. Prabhibhukta bhuk. Taijaso dvitiya padaha. Taijaso dvitiya Taijaso dvitiya padaha. Taijaso dvitiya padaha. Yatra supto na kanchana. Yatra supto na kanchana. Yatra supto na kanchana. Kamam kamayate. Kamam kamayate. Na kanchana swapnam pashyati. Na kanchana swapnam pashyati. Tat sushuptam. Tat sushuptam. Sushuptasthana eki bhutaha. Sushuptasthana eki bhutaha. Pragyana ghana eva anandamayaha. Pragyana ghana eva anandamayaha. Hyananda bhuk cheto mukhaha. Hyananda bhuk cheto mukhaha. Pragyastritiya padaha. Pragyastritiya padaha. Esha sarveshwaraha. Esha sarveshwaraha. Esha sarvagyaha. Esha sarvagyaha. Esho antaryami. Esho antaryami. Eshas yonihi. Eshas yonihi. Sarvasya prabhavapyayau. Sarvasya prabhavapyayau. Hi bhutanam. Hi bhutanam. 7. न अन्तः प्रज्ञं न बहिष्प्रज्ञं अन्तः प्रज्ञं न बहिष्प्रज्ञं न उभयतः प्रज्ञं न प्रज्ञानघनं उभयतः प्रज्ञं न प्रज्ञानघनं न प्रज्ञं न प्रज्ञं न प्रज्ञं न प्रज्ञं अदृष्टम् अव्यवहार्यम् अग्राह्यबलक्षणम् अग्राह्यमलक्षणम् अचिन्त्यम् अव्यपदेश्यम् एकात्मप्रत्ययसारम् प्रपञ्चोपशमम् शान्तं शिवम् अद्वैतम् चतुर्थं मन्यन्ते स आत्मा स विज्ञेयः। सोऽयम् आत्मा अध्यक्षरम् सोऽयमात्मा अध्यक्षरम् ओंकारोऽधिमात्रम् पादामात्रा मात्राश्च पादा मात्राश्च पादा अकार उकारो मकारः इति जागृतस्थानो वैश्वानरः अकारः प्रथमा मात्रा आप्तिरादिमत्वात् आप्तिरादिमत्वात् आप्नोति ह वै सर्वान् कामान् आदिश्च भवति य एवं वेद स्वप्नस्थानस्तैजसः उकारो द्वितीया मात्रा उत्कर्षात् उभयत्वात् उत्कर्षति ह वै ज्ञानसन्ततिम् उत्कर्षितः वै ज्ञानसन्ततिम् समानश्च भवति न अस्य अब्रह्मवित्कुले भवति य एवं वेद सुषुप्तस्थानः प्राज्ञः मकारस्तृतीया मात्रा मितेः अपि तेर्वा मिनोति ह वा इदगुं सर्वम् अपीतिश्च भवति य एवं वेद अमात्रश्चतुर्थो व्यवहार्यः प्रपंच उपशमः शिवोद्वैत एवं ओंकार आत्मैव संविशति आत्मना आत्मानं य एवं वेद Okay, so So we'll do Karika number 25, which we did last week, and the new one that we'll do today, which is Karika 26. So let's do number 25 and 26. Yunjita pranave chetaha, Yunjita pranave chetaha, Pranavo brahma nirbhayam, Pranavo brahma nirbhayam, Pranave nitya yuktasya, Pranave nitya yuktasya, na bhayam vidyate kvachit. Then number 26. Pranavo hyaparam brahma, Pranavo hyaparam brahma, Pranavascha parasmritaha, Pranavascha parasmritaha, Apurvo nantaro bahyaha, Apurvo nantaro bahyaha, Anaparaha pranavo vyayaha, Anaparaha pranavo vyayaha. So number 26, it says, Pranavahi aparam brahma, Pranavascha parasmritaha, Apurvaha anantaraha, Abahyaha anaparaha, Pranavaha avyayaha. So continuing our commentary on the word Pranava. And Pranava is Omkara. And Omkara is the name of both you as an individual and the name of Ishvara. Same thing really is there. Because the Atma, it is the name of the Atma. And Omkara is the name of Atma because it's the most appropriate name for us. And it should be noted that, for example, there are different names for different people. And some of them are common, and some of them are very unique, and so on. But if you need to know the name of someone who is common to all of them, see, even otherwise you can see that the names of people are similar to other human beings. Then the name of insects is common to the name of the family of insects, and those are generally named after people who they're Latin names. So similarly, the names of trees and plants or also some strange names, the Latin names and some popular names and so on. So everybody has a different name. And the names reflect the different shapes and bodies. So the human names have their own individual bodies, the corresponding bodies. Insects have their own corresponding bodies. And then plants and have their own. And even inert things like Prithvi, fire, they all have their own shapes and their own qualities and so on. But if there is a name which is common to all of them, then it should be appropriate. And that is the name what is called Pranavaha Omkaraha. Because Omkaraha is, it's Satchit Sukham. And so in the case of the inert objects, it does not, is not appropriate because they don't have a problem. This table doesn't have a problem. But all the other sentient beings have a problem. And the problem is that it is not understood as to who they are. And this will be revealed in number 26, I will talk about it. But I'm just talking about the word Pranava. So Pranava means the name which is Omkara. And Omkara should be seen as a very appropriate name which is common to everyone. All the living beings, like leave aside the inert beings for the time being, all the living beings, this is the common name for everyone. And so that is the name it is. So now in number 26 it says, Pranavahi aparam brahma and Pranavahi is param brahma. So the Pranava also is Omkara is common, is represents the Apara Brahma as well as Para Brahma. So we will see what that means in a minute. I'm just giving you the word meaning for the time being. Smritaha. Smritaha means it is known. So if you look at Swami Paramarthananda's comment translation, he of course means indeed, definitely. Don't have any doubts about it. This is absolutely pakka. He. Pranavaha Omkaraha Aparam Brahma. So Aparam Brahma, he calls it as the lower Brahman, which is okay. And we'll go into that. And also the Pranava is called the Parabrahma, the higher Brahma, both of them. Which is, then the second line comes in, Apurvaha. Apurvaha means that which does not have a prior cause, causeless. Anaparaha, without any effects, it does not carry any effects to it. And with anantaraha abahyaha, na outside, na inside, avyayaha, and without any decay. So this is the translation of the number 26 as given here. Indeed, Omkara is the lower Brahman, and Omkara is known to be the higher Brahman also. Omkara is without cause, without effect, without inside, without outside, and without any decay. So this is the translation. Now let us look at what it really means. So, the Parabrahma is the Nirguna Brahma. And Parabrahma is also the Saguna Brahma. Saguna Brahma means one which is endowed with the power of manifestation, which is what is called Shakti Vishishtaha. So Shakti is the power of the Maya Shakti, which is the power of manifestation. And so you can think of Omkara in either way. Either one which is without any Shakti, which does not have the power, which is bereft of the power, which has it's not as though it lacks the power, it can be without the power. Without the power. A very simple way to explain this would be that if you look at the water, let's say a lake. So the lake has the ability to be without waves. You can see lake without any ripples, completely quiet. So that would be called a nirguna water, one without any guna, in the sense that there is no manifestation. Or it can have ripples. So the flowingness and lot the other qualities also, wetness, etc., it also has. So when there are ripples, you cannot say this is different from the water. So the water and its ripples, its waviness, are one and the same. But the nirguna, the quiet water, is is able to be without the ripples. But the ripples need the water. So in a way, the waviness is mithya and the waterness is swarupa. That is the satyam. So similarly here also, we will go into this in more detail. Both the Nirguna Brahma and Shakti Vishishta Brahma are one and the same. There cannot be, they are not two separate things. It's not as though Maya Shakti is separate from Brahman, from Ishvara. No. It is in fact the power of the Ishvara to manifest itself. But Ishvara also has the ability to be without any manifestation. And in fact, this should be seen to be my nature also. It's our nature also. This should be seen like that. That our nature is without manifestation. With manifestation is also my nature, and without manifestation is also my nature. So without manifestation, this is the person that I am. I am the person, unmanifest. But I also have the ability to have a personality which is manifest. And the manifested personality is not different from me. Just like a waviness of the water is not different from the water. But it is possible for me to be without the personality. That is what I have to think about. This is our problem. We cannot think of ourselves without our personality. This is where the thoughts have to really now become more educated. It is possible for me to be without any personality. I am that person, unmanifest. And it's not that as though I am not there. In fact, I am the only one which is always there. Even when I have a personality, my person is in the personality. So even if there is a wave of the water is in the wave. There is no wave without the water. But there is a water without the wave. So similarly, when I am a personality, then my person is imbued in that personality. But the personality cannot be without the person. The person can be without the personality. This is what is called Pranavaha, is Param Brahma and Aparam Brahma. Both. And they are not separate, they are not two separate things, that this is Aparam Brahma here and this is Param Brahma here. But the way of looking at it can be different. Swami Maheswaranji gives an example that supposing you have a dollar bill, he was talking about rupees, but let's say a dollar bill. So in the dollar bill, there will be a picture of some famous person like Lincoln on one side, and on the other side there's a completely different picture. There are two sides of the same note. And so you can look at it one way or you can look at it the other way, but they are both constituting the same note. Same coin, same thing with the coins. So this is how it is. Another very interesting thing that there's in Bhagwan Sureshwacharya, one of the disciples of Adi Shankara, has given this definition. He says, Vidya Vidye Prabhoh Shakti Bhanos Chaya Prabhopame. So he says that the Vidya Shakti and Avidya Shakti, the power to know and the power to be deluded, are both Prabhu's Shaktis alone. They are not two separate ones completely. And the example given is that if you're looking at the sun, you are looking at the sun directly. Or supposing you are looking at a chaya. Chaya means a shadow. Shadow means that supposing you are standing in the sun and you're looking at the sun directly, or you are looking at your shadow where the sun is not there. But in the shadow, when you recognize the shadow, it is also possible by the light of the sun. Light of the sun. In other words, you cannot recognize. So here the example is given of between the direct light and the shadow, not the direct light and the absence of the light. Just to make a point. So here Sureshwacharya says that the chaya is also possible through the sun. This is an important thing to see, because in our thinking, what we should see eventually is that when I look at objects, my uneducated conclusion is that the objects are separate from me. The educated conclusion is there are no objects without me. I am the one which is making the presence of objects visible to me. This is the fact. This is what I have to see. And our mind fights it. Ah, really? How is that possible? It's just like saying that you can have so really, the objects that I see are very sophisticated ornaments on my understanding. And just like no ornament is possible without the underlying metal, let's say gold, you cannot separate the ornament from the gold. But we do. We do. When I see people, I look like they're all different from me. When in fact, if you keep on analyzing any object, like for example a table, and you now start to split open the very reality of the table, what you will find is that the reality of the table is my reality, not a separate reality. So this is what this example by Sureshwacharya is saying, that even if you look at a shadow, the shadow is also possible by the light of the sun. Even when there is a direct absence of the sun, the indirect presence of the sun is there. And more than that, really speaking, everything that I see, the reality of everything that I see is myself alone. This is the progression that I have to see. This is slowly it will happen. So this is where the truth then finally manifests itself. But anyway, coming back to it, that Pranava is both Parabrahma as well as Aparam Brahma. And if the Parabrahma is known, I get moksha. But the Parabrahma, the knowledge of Parabrahma is set up by my understanding of the Aparabrahma. Therefore, as we have been seeing all along, the upasana for prayer, a prayerful attitude, which is encapsulated by the word upasana, is a necessary first step to the understanding of Param Brahma, Parabrahma. So the Apara Brahma is to be meditated on, to be prayed to. And prayed to how? Prayed to by the fact that the entire creation in front of me has a orderly structure to it. It is nothing but the manifestation of Ishvara. And we will continue on this thought. I'm just giving you the initial aspects of it. So the Aparam Brahma is, this is what is called, I need to really use more, I'll try to get into the habit of preparing ahead of time and setting up the TV. This is what we call Dhyeya. Apara Brahma is Dhyeya and Parabrahma is Gyeya. So Gyeya means to be known. And Parabrahma is to be known. And Apara Brahma, Saguna Brahma, is to be meditated on. And the known Apara Brahma is set up by, the first step of that is my devotion to Apara Brahma. These are the steps that I have to take. So here, Bhashyakara Adi Shankara has a sentence which says, Parapare Brahmani Pranavaha Para, apara. Para, pare means it's a dual. Para, pare means parascha, aparascha. Brahmani, again dual. Pranavaha. Pranava is both, same thing he's saying. Parmarthataha kshineshu matra padeshu paraha eva atma brahma. He says when the individual drishti of matra and padas, or the various stages of the life are gone, then Turiya alone remains. This we have seen before. Okay? So now, some explanation and commentary on this in our life should be seen. This is the real explanation of this verse. So here, Shiva, the Parabrahma, is avyavaharya. It is not available for transactions. So Shiva meaning that my own nature, which is never manifest, is not available for transactions. You cannot touch yourself. You are what you are. You cannot touch it. And you cannot make use of it. This is the second line, apurvaha anantaraha bahyaha anaparaha. We'll go into that separately, but let's just proceed one step at a time. So the Shiva that I am is avyavaharya. And the Shakti that I have, my Shakti is nothing but a manifestation of Maya Shakti. My Shakti of knowing, doing, desiring, all of those powers is the power of the Apara Brahma. And here it's very interesting. You can either you can use the word Brahman from a total standpoint. It's also appropriate. So from a samashti standpoint also you can say Parabrahma and Aparabrahma. And from your individual standpoint, you can use exactly the same analysis. Whatever the analysis is about the Param Brahma and the water and the waviness and so on, you can also use it to yourself. So you are also the Para Brahma, means the Para Atma, and the Apara Atma. As we said before, one is the person, the other one is the personality. Both of them. Now, another interesting thing. If you look at the types of students, not type of students, but the stages of the understanding of the students. Let's look at it that way. Because all of us are growing in our understanding if we are headed in the right direction. Because you could have a growth which is contrary to what Shastra wants you to do. The typical example, the classical example given is that of Ravana. Ravana's example is a very beautiful one because, first of all, Ravana was a Brahmana. He was a Brahmana, which is supposed to be the most educated, and he was very educated. Very educated. and he spent a lot of time in his life in appeasing Shiva, in being very devoted to him, and growing a lot as a person, but in the wrong direction. Wrong direction. So the growth doesn't necessarily mean the right direction. Both have to be there. The growth and the right direction have to be done. If that is the case, so this is what is called, again, we have looked at 3 different stages of an adhikari, of a studentship. What is called Uttama Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, Madhyama means the middle one, and Adhama Adhikari, which is the C class, C, B and A. Okay? So now let us look at the Parabrahma and Aparabrahma, the attitude towards life in this standpoint, A, B and C. Let's look at that. So, in the case of, so let us try to see the differences in my growth possibilities from the standpoint of what is called Vyavahara. Vyavahara means my transactions in life, my attitude towards other things. That is, let's look at as the fulcrum based on which we will see the 3 stages of the human being. Okay? So now what is said is that both an Uttama Adhikari really means one who is very close to being a Jivan Mukta, who has understood the whole thing, who can see the presence of Ishvara in himself or herself and knows the truth about it, knows that I am the person. So in the example that we saw before, see, this is what happens. Before education, we cannot tell that I am a person without my personality. Whatever my personality is, that's what I think I am. Then I am told through study and classes and so on that, hey, that's not true. There is a turiya which is independent of the swapna avastha, jagrata avastha, etc. There is someone who is different from it. That is the personality. So, if there is a person who has completely understood it, even though the life is still going on, this is what called Uttama Adhikari. Okay, so let's define it. This is Uttama Adhikari, one who has understood the whole thing. Madhyama Adhikari is the one who is devoted to Saguna Brahma but has not understood the Parabrahma. So going back and completing the definition of Uttama Adhikari one is the one who has understood Parabrahma, right? Because that Parabrahma is the person behind the personality. Now, the Madhyama Adhikari, the middle student, has not yet completely understood Parabrahma, but is very devoted to Saguna Brahma. Given this, let us look at some examples in life on the differences between the Uttama Adhikari and Madhyama Adhikari. It's very revealing. Here's what happens. So suppose both of them are householders, meaning they have a family, they have things to do, and both of them have a sense of devotion to the family. They are people who are responsible, who display a lot of love, lot of loyalty, both of them. Like for example, when the middle person, and we are talking about people who have already been introduced to Vedanta. You can have an equivalent definition for people who have not yet been introduced to Vedanta, but let's look at that part of it. Okay? So, people who have at least been taught some elements of Shastra, the way we will see their families is that I have a child, I have to take care of it, and not have to, but I want to take care of it, educate the person, take care of the health, have the person grow, and be very, very responsible and in love with the whole family. Just look at the family setup, not leaving aside friends and so on. Okay? And then a tragedy happens to this person. The worst tragedy we can do is one of our children dies before we do. So let's take the extreme case. So what happens is that this middle person who is devoted to, from a Vyavahara standpoint, from a transactional standpoint, he or she is doing all the right things. But then a tragedy happens. Let's take a case. I'm just taking it from the example that Swami Maheshananji has given. His 25-year-old son dies. So the middle one who is devoted to Ishvara will go through a lot of problems. To lose a son at the age of 25 is not an ordinary tragedy. Be very, very, extremely sad, and will carry the memory of the son. Now, he is still devoted to Ishvara. He knows that these are possibilities. He knows, for example, that my son will now have a new life. It's not like a person who says, I don't know what's happening, this is what happens even, if there's a tragedy, then people get completely, first of all, they're sorrowful, and on top of that, they are confused. But a person who is devoted to Ishvara is sorrowful but not confused. He says, my son has a new life, and I am not sure that his attitude would be, I am not sure that my son is be as well taken care of in his new life as I was doing it for him. Yeah, I'm not sure. And his name, this is another thing that Swamiji points out. He says one of our biggest problems of being bound by things is the memory of the name. You remember the name of the person, the picture of the person, and it brings out old memories and so on. So I want to go on, a number of things to talk about, but let's close off this case. This is the case of the Madhyama Adhikari, remember. What is the Uttama Adhikari? Uttama Adhikari, same situation. His 25-year-old son dies. He, of course, misses him, but he is not sorrowful. I mean, he does all the right things and so on and so forth. How can, supposing your somebody living with you dies and you have their clothes that you have to sort out. There is some, but the Uttamadhikari, here's the attitude. Uttamadhikari says, Ishvara, you gave me this person. I don't know where he came from. It's really absolutely the truth. Where your child was before they was born to you, you have no idea. He was there before somewhere. What his background is just amazing. How many millions of lives that person has taken. It just dropped into your lap. Now Ishvara has said, I need to transfer him over to some other place. So you tell Ishvara, please, I thank you for giving me a person. I'm sorry that it didn't work out. Please, I'm sure you'll take better care of him than I would have. Otherwise, you would not have separated me from him. I did the best I can, but you know any better. You're gone. There he's gone. Now take care of him. And he just leads his life with minimal problems of any kind. This is the Uttamadhikari. This case is not at all dissimilar to traveling in a train, where all of a sudden, and this is all familiar to us from India and I'm sure from China also, that you are traveling in a train with lots of stations that come in and so on and so forth. All of a sudden, without any prior thing, somebody comes up into your station, into your compartment, and you say, hello, how's your name? How are you doing? And they are becoming friendly with you. And you talk about how many children do you have and what kind of work do you do. You know, the normal things, and you struck up a very good conversation with them, and so on and so forth. Now, there is introduction of the Adhama Adhikari. So we have talked about the two before, which is Uttama Adhikari and Madhyama Adhikari, the A student and the B student. There is also now a definition of the Adhama Adhikari. Let's introduce that in this example. So here's the example given. This is also a Maheshananji's example. So the example is that you are opening up your food. This is what happens nowadays. I guess the food is getting better. You're getting it from the railway department. But we all have grown up by having our own food with us. So we will take a couple of some rotis and one dal and one dry sabzi, some vegetable, and some achar, some pickle. This was the usual thing that we would take for the trains. So you are opening up, you and your family is opening up. And you see that the people sitting opposite to you who just came, they are a little bit disturbed. They're talking to each other. So you said, is everything okay? They said, okay, but here's the problem. Our helper forgot to give us a separate tiffin for the dal and the dry vegetables. So we only have rotis. And we are missing some other things. You know what a C-class person will do? He'll say, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. We don't have enough to give you, so you please carry on. What can I do? I'm very, very sorry to hear that. They won't share any of their food with them because they have a sense of I don't care. Similarly, Swamiji says the Adhama Adhikari in the same transactions of growing children and so on, he says, I have seen from my eyes where you ask people, how are your children doing? how are they doing in school? And you say, I have no idea. Ishvara will take care of them. Why should I worry about it? I've got my business to run and I have parties to go to. Children have their own lives, I have nothing to do with them. Not nothing to do with them, but I have full faith in God that He will take care of them and so on. No. Cannot do that. That is the third, the Adama Adhikari. It is exactly like saying, I have nothing to do with the passengers who just came. It's they have to do whatever they want to do and so on. Normally person will not do it. So, he uses the word, he says, this is murkha. Murkha means that such a person will be called an idiot. That you are being very close to it, you haven't opened your own food, you have not eaten it, why don't you give some to them also? So the medium one will share the food with them. Now comes the difference between the medium one and the top one. The medium one, all of a sudden, will, this is a hypothetical case. So what happens is that these people who are sharing the train with you, all of a sudden they get off the train. Get off the train in the middle of the night and so on and so forth. The medium one will say, oh my God, I'm missing them so much. I wish I could have come down with them. I don't know what they're doing. I hope they're doing well. I forgot to take their addresses. I should have written to them. I'm very sorry. The Uttama Adhikari will say, that was wonderful that we were together for a while. They have their own destination. I have my own destination. And I don't have to worry about it. It's wonderful that we were together. So, a knowledge of Parabrahma will allow you to overcome normal problems of life. That means that you have not just a normal devotion to Ishvara, you have a complete understanding that our meeting our wives and husbands and children and having children and all of that is incidental. It is very much like really two actors and actresses being recruited for a brand new film. And first day the director says, you know, here's what you need to do. You are this, and I've got some cast to surround you with it. And this is the story, this is the script, this is what you have to do. And the Uttama Adhikari enjoys it, but when the film is over, it's gone. Let's go on to the next film. The Madhyama Adhikari, the middle one, worries about it. My gosh, how is my film going to be? And I wish I could star again in these kinds of things. And the Adhama Adhikari does not play the role very well. You remember that story I told you? I don't know if this is appropriate for this example. The story is that in Swami Mahesharanji had given this someplace else, so I'm just giving you here. That there is a story is that there is a chase scene where a person has to drive 90 miles per hour chasing this thief. And at the end of that, the thief escapes because it is glorifying how clever the thief is. This is what the story is. But you got to chase him. So they interview people. Can you drive? Yes. Can you drive fast? He says, yeah, I think I can do that. And you can take some risks because it's going to be a real shootout in the middle of a town. He says, yeah. And then when the movie starts, he goes up to about 65 or so, and there's a lot of traffic, and the fellow doesn't chase him. And so he was said, hey, what happened? You were supposed to chase him for like 20-30 miles, and you gave up after 2 miles. What happened? So he says, I know the script. I know the script. The script is that I'm not supposed to catch him. So why should I just kill myself for the risk of it? This is the Adama Adhikari. And Swamiji says, I have seen people who misuse the so-called devotion to God. Obviously, if there is no God involved, there you find parents who are completely irresponsible in bringing up the children. But even amongst people who are devoted to God, they'll say, let them take care of themselves, I have nothing to do. No. Then the next stage is people who are fulfilling their responsibilities properly, but they are not willing to overlook problems that may occur to them, because they haven't really understood that the person and the personality, that really, even from a standpoint of, so the rail example is a good one, that these people all came in, were with you for a while, and in fact it's not known whether you will get off first or they will get off first. We don't know that. Whoever does it, but there is a separation nevertheless between them. And Uttama Adhikari. So the Uttama Adhikari, so this is now a very important thing to see. Let's go back to the Uttama Adhikari, the best Adhikari. Other ones we have now taken and so on. In the Uttama Adhikari's cases, he or she knows that my vyavahara is mithya. But he still fulfills the vyavahara as well as, if not better than, the other adhikaris. It is like the movie where you're supposed to chase. You, even though you know this is just a role, but once the script has been given to you by the director and the producer, you fulfill that very sincerely. Do a good job of that. So this is what is called the, and the question is why? So here, one thing we should just pause. I'll just give you a kind of like a separate commentary on this. So when we often talk about our sampradaya, the Advaita Vedanta Sampradaya, the Sampradaya of Vyasa, of Adi Shankara, of Bhagavad Gita, and the teaching of these things through our own gurus, the acharyas, the classes that we hold, the attitudes we have, the thinking in our life again. This is what is composed of what is called sampradaya. This is not just an ordinary word that, what sampradaya do you belong to? This is what I asked some people. Just the other day somebody was asking me. I just met just 2-3 days ago. So, he said, I understand you're teaching. What sampradaya are you in? I didn't know whether what does he, So I said, I'm Advaita Vedanta Sampradaya, what can I say? He says, oh, okay, so he was saying, okay, he just sort of pigeonholed me. So this is not it is. So now look at this part of it. This is the Sampradaya that we represent. So let's look at 3 or 4 aspects of this. This is just one of them that verse number 26 is. I'm going to give you a little larger picture of that. Okay? So one of the aspects of the Sampradaya is that for a person to fully execute the promise of being free, you have to execute your vyavahara very well. This is part of this sampradaya. This should be understood. And there needs to be more discussion of this. I'm just giving you some introduction to it. So it doesn't mean that because you are studying the Paramarthika Satyam, the absolute truth, that in any way you decry the vyavahara with the world. No way, cannot do that. That means that you are putting on airs that you don't deserve yet. So this is the thing. Once you are a human, householder and so on, your vyavahara to people should be exactly as it should be, as though you were never introduced to. And probably better than that. Much better than that. Because in the normal course of life, we find that people are misbehaving. Situations are not to your liking and so on and so forth. And before that, you would be genuinely upset. And now, you have a semblance of being upset, but then you soon overcome it. And your behavior towards other people and so on is noteworthy. You keep your cheerfulness all the time. But in terms of your duties and so on, there should be no change whatsoever. Why? Because that's exactly, I tell you, this example of this chasing the thief is a very good one. That once the script has been given to you, you fulfill that script very well. How would you be if you just completely messed up the script? No one will like it. Even Ishvara will say, what kind of a Vedantin are you? Now, I think it's very possible that you can make some small adjustments to the script. With the help of Ishvara, you can say that, I think, may I suggest to you? And that is also with some risk. It's a funny incident that comes to my mind. So my older son, when he was finishing up high school, so there were some summer jobs that came up. So we told him, we were watching some of the people who were waiting us on restaurants, and what a tough job it is to make sure that food is brought in. So we told Sanjay, I said, Sanjay, that will be very nice if you can take a summer job to as a waiter. There is a store here called Hobbies. And so we said, go to Hobbies. And so he went to Hobbies and he got a job. Then there was in some other restaurant. It was a very nice restaurant. Hungarian lady had opened some restaurant in Palo Alto. And so he took up a job. So what happened was, excuse me, after he was working there for a couple of months, one day he approached the owner of the shop and said, Madam, I have a couple of suggestions on how to improve things. He says, really? Let's get together. And he says, I've noticed that unlike Mexican restaurants, they give you these chips right away. You know, with the salsa and so on and so forth. Or in Indian restaurants also, they give you papad, so that you're hungry or at least have something to eat. He says, you know, you don't have anything. I think we should give something free to people. So this lady said, listen, I've been doing this for a long time, and I think I know what I'm doing. And so he overdid it a little bit. He says, no, but you should look for new sermons. This is this 15-year-old kid talking to this 60-year-old Hungarian lady who has already had 3 or 4 restaurants. So he says, no, but you know what if we did this and so on? The next day he was fired. So, you know, you can make some suggestions to Ishvara that can you make some adjustments in my script of the life? And but it's a risky thing. It's a risky thing. Ishvara will say, okay, this one we can adjust it. But if not, then chop. So don't do it. Just fulfill your duty very well. Why? Because the process of understanding Parabrahma takes a while. And until you don't want to disturb that. So going back to the definition of sampradaya, there are so many of them. I'll point out to you various ones. So this is one of them. This is an important thing to see, that as far as vyavahara goes, there should be no difference. If anything, you should do a better job than the middle one. This is one thing. Another thing is the one that we're going to talk about in the Gita class today, which is that in our sampradaya, then nirvikalpa samadhi does not mean no thoughts. This is a huge thing. Everybody thinks somehow or the other, if I can perfect thoughtlessness, I will be done. It's the ultimate stupidity. This is another thing that we should, I'm just giving you some aspects of this. Another thing is that I just want to take sannyasa and sit there and do my own stuff, and I don't need the world. No, we don't believe in that. In fact, the more give and take you have with the help of the Shastra in your life, the better off you will be. This is the very basic teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. That's exactly what Arjuna wanted to do. He says, I figured out this war thing doesn't, I'm just going to say, no, can't do that. So the yoga of karma is a very important aspect of this. This is also part of the sampradaya. But anyway, coming back to the central theme of this is that in the sampradaya it says that both Parabrahma and Aparabrahma are included in the definition of pranava. So this is why it says pranavo hi aparam brahma pranavascha parab smritaha. And if you fulfill your requirements to Aparabrahma very well, your own mind will reward you for understanding of the Parabrahma, the person that you are away from your personality. If that one were to happen, then the second line becomes relevant, that the Apara Brahma is Apurva. So that we will have, perhaps go into this a little bit more next time. But this is the sense of this verse. Very beautifully explained by Swami Maheshananji. A few other things that I didn't get time to do, but like there's one very important thing that I'll just mention, and then maybe we can still have some time for questions. That so I'll just quickly mention it. So this is also the part of the Sampradaya, that the best, if you want the A-class student, so Uttama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari will not start things that are full of problems. Then the second adhikari is, no, wait a second, even the first one and the second one is, once something is begun, it will be completed well. So in the example of that movie, so a first-class actor will never get into a role where he has to risk driving at 90 miles per hour. He would be given top jobs anyway. So that means that, in this case it says that supposing you have a person growing up in life, and this is what happens to all of us, most of us anyway, then you become, an adult, and then either you are attracted to someone to get married, or your family pressures you a little bit, and we don't have enough sense at that stage of our life to say no. I want to stay single. Then say, hey, you can't stay single because you won't have any children, and what will happen, and this, that, or the other. And he says, it doesn't matter. I know the complications of marriage, and I am not going to get into it. So these kinds of sannyasis should be saluted. Wonderful. There are very few to find. What happens is, most of us get into marriage, thinking, oh, it'll be wonderful, and then problems start. But when the problems start, now you cannot say, I want to get out of it. No. You got married, you did not have enough sense to not get married, and now that you are married, you fulfill your duty for the rest of this life. In the next life, that may happen. Your karmas will say, I am not going to get married again because I didn't have enough freedom, I'm wasting too much time with the family and so on and so forth, I just want to study. Then Ishvara will hopefully remember all this and bring you into a family where you will become a sannyasi, and it will be wonderful. But in this life, you will have a lot of problem if you break off the relationship and says, I'm not doing anything. No. So this is part of the sampradaya. This is exactly what it means. That there's a saying here, Anarambo hi karyanam prathama buddhi lakshanam. Arabdasya ananta gamanam dvitiyam buddhi lakshanam. He says, if you don't start anything, this is the best lakshanam. But if you started it, not to complete it is the worst thing. You cannot do that. Anyway, these are how the understand. This is what is meant by our sampradaya. What kind of a belief system we have, what kind of an understanding we have, what interpretation of how to lead the life. All of that is done with that kind of a... So anyway, this is... all these verses, they look kind of simple. Pranavo hi aparam brahma, pranavascha parasmita. The beauty of these Mahatmas is to relate to us in terms of our life, that we can see. And so very fortunate to really have such acharyas to do that. Anyway, we'll continue with that. Swasti prajabhyav paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhya shubhamastu nityam loka samastha sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyaha prithvi sasya shalini desho yam shobharahitaha brahmana santu nirbhayaha sarve bhavantu sukhinaha sarve santu niramayaha sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet asato ma satkamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. So what we are thinking, next Saturday, which is the 5th of January, we will celebrate the starting of the new year, and we will have a combined class between the Upanishad class and the Gita class starting at 8 o'clock, and we will meet downstairs in the auditorium. So we will have a puja and then a extended meditation and a brief talk. So it will go from 8 to 10 o'clock, and I will send you an email with all the details. So and that's what we're going to do. Okay. And no other questions, then we will see you next week.
The auditorium is in the main.
So you can come in from the main door, and it's right next to it. It's very close by there. Yeah, on the bottom floor, on the ground floor. Okay.
Namaskar.
Namaskar. How are you feeling?
Dragging on. There's some female named Tanuja Singh.
Uh-huh.
Is this a young woman taught?